Hi. So this video will be quick, hopefully, and painless. I've had many interruptions, so this is my 5th or 6th take. Anyway, I wanted to talk about what you're worth. So as an English teacher in Japan, of course, you know, depending on what your technical expertise is, or if you have any technical expertise, you can charge different amounts of money per hour for your lessons. Oh, Jesus. Now it's my clock. It's been something, one thing after another. Anyway, it's 11 o'clock. So, for me, many of my lessons I charge different prices because of different reasons. Like I inherited students from other people, and those students were used to paying a certain fee. So I left it. It seemed a reasonable fee anyway. There's one group of 2 ladies, and they pay 1,500 yen a piece for my time. There's another group of 4 people. They don't usually all 4 come, but they pay 2,500 a piece. And there's a group that I go to teach on Wednesday nights, and collectively I get paid 8,000 yen for the night. And then I teach in Yokohama, and I get 4,000 yen per class per night, and that's taxed, so I don't actually bring all of that home, most of it though. And then there's a class that's only an hour and a half in Kurihama, and that's 6,000 yen. So anyway, I mean, there are like there's different pricing, but it's all okay with me so far. All that's okay. Where my thinking gets maybe a little unique is when it comes to the private lessons in my house. Because I don't have any technical expertise, like, you know, working with medical field terminology, or maybe practicing law or something like that, or computers. Those people definitely can charge and expect to be paid more. I've heard as much as 5,000 or 6,000 per hour. For me, I charge 2,500 yen to come to my house for 1 hour for a lesson. And recently, actually, I've kind of debated if I thought that was fair for me. But here's the main reason why I started with that price. I felt like I didn't have a lot of experience, and I really, really want the students to get value for their yen. So I have good days and I have not so good days. And on a day where I feel like maybe is a down day, or, you know, I'm not as quick with it or whatever, if I produce a crappy lesson, then they've paid like the minimum. You know what I mean? Like, most people pay at least 2,500 yen. I think a lot of people pay more. I've heard of plenty of people paying 4,000 yen for a lesson. So that being said, I feel like you get what you get at 2,500. On the flip side to that thinking, I always strive to give a very high quality lesson. I really do. I plan for every lesson. I'm never caught just umming and on. I have worksheets, I have topics in my mind to talk about, I have activities that I've planned, so a lesson is never boring. We're not just sitting here doing grammar. I like to change it up, and I always have like a warm-up or an opener and a little conversation. That's important. And then the lesson, whatever the lesson is, and that just depends on what their level of English is as to what I would plan. So I feel like every lesson, even my down lessons, are quality, but it makes me feel better to know that I'm not charging so much money and the pressure's not so high. But I'm curious as to what other people think about that. Do you think I'm cutting myself short or selling myself short? Anyway, to me, it feels fair. It feels fair. And usually they're so excited that my lessons are affordable and they're good. So, I mean, I feel comfortable in saying that my lessons are good. Have I ever had a bad lesson? Maybe, but I don't think it's so much it was a bad lesson. I just think maybe the mix, my personality, my style, and the student didn't mesh as well. But I've never just shown up and sat here and looked at the students and didn't know what I was doing. I have had some students not like an activity that I've done, but you know, they're never like, oh, I hate this. They're just like kind of flustered and frustrated, and I feel it. So then I know the next lesson, I'll do something different. Anyway, those are my thoughts for today. What you're worth. In addition, last night, this is what really brings it up to me. Last night, I went to teach at a place I've been teaching for a year. I teach children. They're still private lessons, but they're at somebody's house. And that somebody comes to the station and picks me up. She's Japanese. She owns, I guess, like a business. So she puts out an advertisement, and then people call her for English lessons, and then she finds an American on base to help teach the lesson. And some people like to come to her aunt's house. Her aunt passed away, and she's left with a apartment. So she uses that space to teach lessons in, which is, I think, pretty reasonable. She doesn't have to pay rent or anything. So recently, I guess she's had some events happen in her life where she's trying to increase her income. So she really is pushing to do these children lessons at her aunt's house. She picks me up, or whoever the teacher is. I only do it one day a week. And she goes to her aunt's house, and then they teach the lesson, and then she takes them back to the train station. So usually I would get 2,600 yen plus train fee. But what happened was she's decided to hire some young people. I totally understand. I understand her situation completely. But she's hired some young people, and she's paying them 2,000 yen per hour. And she's helping them teach, she says. And that's all well and good. And she told me that she would love to keep me on Thursdays, but she can't pay me the usual fee. If I want to stay, it's going to be at 2,000 yen per hour. And I just felt like, no, I'm worth more than that. So, and not in a snooty way. It's just once I've gone to the train station, walked there, not that it's a big walk, but once I've walked to the train station, taken the train to this place, and then get in the car and she drives me to her aunt's house, that's easily 40 minutes, an hour, depending on the wait and traffic and blah, blah, blah. And then to do the lesson for an hour, or sometimes 2 or 3 lessons, and then to come back, I mean, that's a long time. And I feel like the compensation for all of that time, plus planning and all that stuff, is just not enough, because I already feel like my price, 2,500 yen, or she actually pays 2,600 yen. I already feel like that's at the bottom. So 2,000 yen, I just couldn't go there. And if she has young people that want to do it, I think that's great. I really do. So give it to them, no problem. So anyway, no hard feelings, but I just think it's important to know what you think you're worth when you get into this, and then grow from there. So I'm at this place now where I'm like, do I raise my price, or do I stay at 2,500 yen? Like, maybe I could go up to 3,000 yen and be pretty comfortable, but 4,000 or 5,000 yen, I think I still would feel so much pressure to be like perfect and on point all the time. Anyway, let me know what you think. Bye.